Now, welcome into the call, the head coach of the William and Mary Tribe, Mike London. Good morning, Coach London.
Good morning.
Good morning. Before we talk about your team and the matchup with Richmond, been asking all the coaches this morning what it means to you and your players and your staff after the long offseason and the long grind to get to this point, what it feels like to be at game week.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that back in last March that, a lot of the information started coming out and, the halts that were occurring. For our players, I'm sure like everyone else has said probably in this call that it's been a long time of anxious anticipation, but so here we are, and we're ready to start an opportunity, providing that health and opportunities present itself every week. But we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to playing a competitive schedule. I know the players are, particularly, and we're excited to go.
Start with a question from Dave Johnson. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Mike. How you obviously, like everyone else, you were in a weird situation where you guys couldn't play for a long time, and you have a freshman quarterback last year. How has Hollis developed during that time, do you feel?
He's done a tremendous job. He's a football guy. Notwithstanding, he's a great young man of character. He's an excellent student, but he's a football junkie. And I think the relationship that he and Coach Taylor have developed, and with Coach John's being our quarterback coach now, having played the position, that he's a guy that's first to the meetings, last to leave after practice. He's making extra throws, all those things. And he's, our team is full of guys, sophomores. I mean, true freshmen that played last year. So now we're a team full of now true sophomores that are gaining their experience by playing again a competitive schedule. So it's been fun to watch him develop, watch him become a leader, watch him do some of the things offensively that we're going to try to do, but also know he has an athletic ability that speaks for itself. So we're happy about him, the type of person he is, the type of student athlete that he is, all the things that he does here at William and Mary. He's a great young man to have on your team.
Have you seen him develop some strength during the time off?
I think he's gotten faster. I mean, he only knows one speed, and that's like full speed. And so, we've had like everyone had the challenges of not having, a dedicated full-time strength coach over the times that we've been out. But what he has done is gotten the film room, gotten better at his, everybody knows the primary and secondary reads, but now he's gotten better at, the check downs and all the other things that quarterbacks have to know and learn and be cognizant about. So, like I said, I give a lot of credit to him wanting to be the best that he can be, not just, in the classroom, in the community, but definitely on the field in terms of his work ethic.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Next question from Marty OBrien. Go ahead, Marty.
Good morning, Coach. Wanted to ask you if you could tell us what you feel the best position group is on each side of the ball, and who we might be looking for out of those particular position groups.
Yeah, that's a great question, Marty. I would say that based on who we have coming back, I say the offensive line for us is probably one of the better units on our team because of the cohesiveness, because of guys that have played together. Colby Sorsdale, Andrew Trainer, Ryan Ripley, one of our captains, Maurice Crow. I mean, so there's so many guys that have played that have gotten bigger, faster, stronger, notwithstanding the challenges of not having, strength coaches or dedicated strength program, but that those guys, they room together, they lift together, they eat together. I mean, they do everything together, maybe typical of what other position groups do. But it's a good group of guys that love what they do, and they take a lot of pride in it. And on the other side, I would say perhaps even the defensive line. We lost Bill Murray, obviously playing for the Patriots now, but Will Kiley, Carl Fowler, Nate Lynn, who played a lot last year. Um, you know, Termite, as we call him, our new nose tackle, Raquan Bissett, has demonstrated that he's a capable and quality player as well. So there's some guys that have played in some games, have made significant contributions, and they just happen to be up front on both sides.
What kind of challenge does Richmond present?
Well, wow. I mean, their quarterback is outstanding. Do it all. I mean, obviously, you look at him. He can run the ball. He can throw it. They spread the field. They do some misdirection things to get your eye discipline away from your responsibilities. And he does a great job of affecting all that. They have a good offensive line, very good offensive line as well, so they can create those holes. They're very physical. The running backs are very good. Their kicking game. One of the running backs is also an All-American kick returner. So that's Aaron Dykes, and he's a phenomenal, electric athlete. So their offense presents a challenge because you have a quarterback that can do it, can run and throw it, a running back that can catch it out of the backfield and run it between the tackles, but also he catches the balls for the kicking game. So they're complete, and they've done a good job of just using the playmakers at the opportune times.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Mike, got a follow up from Dave Johnson. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Mike. How would you say the kicking game is coming along now? On as far as place kicking goes, is the freshman Chang in the mix?
Yeah, he is. He's very much in the mix, and he's done a good job of just practicing habits, being a college. He's a college kicker now. Obviously when you have true freshmen that are involved with handling some of the kicking chores, by necessity, it's something that he was a very good kicker in high school, and now he's in college, and so we'll be utilizing his skill set. We got our snappers, we got our holder, and now we're gonna have to utilize his ability to be accurate and kick field goals and extra points. So like I said, I find him in the same position as a Hollis Mathis was, or Donovan Lester, Nate Lynn, those guys that were freshmen last year that played a lot of college football games. So he looks like he's in that type of position as well, and I think he's got a bright future.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mike, you've obviously been around this Richmond-William and Mary rivalry for a long time. How weird is it playing this game to start your season instead of ending it like usual?
It's we kind of adapted the so what now what mantra going back to when this pandemic first started. That you plan for things, and then all of a sudden, the last moment, you got to improvise, you got to adapt, and so the schedule is as the schedule is, and we're playing them first. It's interesting that the rival game, one of the oldest rivalry games in the South in college football, perhaps, is your first game and your last game. So our guys, I'm quite sure, like all the coaches have said, are anxious to play. They're anxious to perform, not just practice against each other. So and there are always good games. I believe the William & Richmond games when I was there, even as a player, has always been a good game. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for the time here this morning, and I look forward to talking again next week.
Thank you. Have a good day.